What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here, and today I'm here to bring you a little bit about a project I've been working on. This project is basically to see how budget I can make a certain build of mine. That way I can replicate it in League. So, first things first, I'm just going to go over the simplistic gear and, you know, what you can use what you can use basically instead of certain things and so on and so forth. Then I'll give you a quick showcase of running a t16 map with a 5-link on. Then I will demonstrate the DPS with a 6-link using the same gear, so you can kind of, expect what you're going to do. And today we're going to be exploring a little bit about one of the new unique items that is, in my opinion, the most busted thing that has come, to us in a while. And yeah, it's pretty solid. So first things first, I'm going to go. Okay, so that's a peek at the gear. So because I am basically league starting really late, this is what I've been doing kind of in standard. Just been trying to push this build as much as I can on a budget, just so I can kind of see where it stands and how much it's going to take to make before I decide to max it out in League. So first things first, just gonna go ahead and pull out a couple of maps, and now let's go over the gear. So as you see here, everything's pretty budget. Only thing that's an exception is this, but I'm going to, as a disclaimer, just throw this straight off of my boots real quick. Currently I have dash, blood rage, second wind, but that doesn't matter too much, so let's just go ahead and drop them off in here for now. And these ones right here, Alberon's Warpath. Okay, so this one here is one of the more crazy ones you can use. I gotta actually find a pair that I have. Alber. There we go. So, Alberon's Warpath cannot be frozen, that's fine. So, this is only 15%, but I just wanted to show you real quick the difference in omniscience, for example. If I go here, go to my character, and then scroll down, my omniscience is at 1803. However, if I click that, I go down to 1799, I'm still 3% shy from the max roll. So, if you actually... I'm pretty sure I have a max rolled Alberons. Hold on. I corrupted and crangled a whole load of them. So let's see. We have 18% with totem duration and increase of the duration on you. That's kind of bad. I have another pair. Hold on. There we go. Is this it? Pretty sure this is it. No, it's not it. One of these? Here we go. So, if I put these on here, I go to 1889, so this is actually more than this one. The only downside is I'm not 35 movement speed, so for the sake of the video, even though this is only 27 movement speed, for the sake of the video, I'm going to be using my move speed boots because they're just slightly faster, and I have an enchant on them. I don't have one on these yet, but yeah, I believe I actually lose 2.8 something like that of this, so it's only about 187 instead of 189, but it's fine. And for the sake of the video, we're going to go ahead and just roll with it, show you guys exactly how cheap you can build this, right? And as you see here, everything else is super budget. Arborix shouldn't be more than like an X or 2 in League. This quiver is worth absolutely nothing. In fact, I would recommend, as soon as you get a chance, changing this quiver for a crafted quiver. We have the Hoop of All with corrupted 5%. Now this is really good, so do not try and skimp on this. If you can get one with 30 stats, that is perfectly fine as well. And then when you can get one with percent corruption, go for it. And then we have a really bad Circle of Nostalgia, the only good thing it has is 7% dexterity, and then 16 attributes obviously is what it comes with. Now we did this because this is budget. This is something that you can find on pretty much any league and for a really good price. Our brass dome obviously is the 6 so this is our single target. Our helm is worth a couple of chaos. It happens to have a corruption of lusted cold gems, cool. Our bows, the Arborix, obviously you don't have to have one with corruption. Mine just has it because, I played Scourge League and I have cool Scourge and cool corruption in it. And then, like, Slither Pinches, because it has 48 dex, attack speed, evasion, and life and mana leech. That's it. So, oh, and don't forget our 1C belt, the String of Servitude. I got this for 2 chaos or 3 chaos standard. In League, it's probably even cheaper or easier to find. You can probably find one with this and something. Now, if you want to see what this does, if we take this off, yeah, this is 260. Yeah, 260. That is nuts. That's 26 LE res and 26 pin on one item. Now, obviously, you can use other things. I was using Cyclopean Coil, but Cyclopean Coil is not really budget on just starting a build, especially one with the corruptions you need. I spent like 30 or 40 in past leagues making it. But without further ado, we're just going to hop right into a map just so you can kind of see. We have a respectable 2.9k HP, level 94. This isn't a very min-max character. I will make a disclaimer that my Brutal Restraint is relatively GG and has a lot of things going for it. For example, if I go over here to my character, it's about 300 of my omniscience, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. So you don't really have to have that. You can have one with like 1 or 2, which wouldn't cost you that many divines to get. This one just happens to have 1, 2, I believe 3, and then a flat 20. I'm not mistaken, if I can find it. Is it here? Now either way, it has a lot of percent dex. So, oh, that is it. And then has these, which is nice too. And then, along with that, we do happen to be using a Lionite Fall, because Lionite Fall basically gives us all the crit chance, crit multi, and gives us an insane amount of attack speed and leech, so we don't really have to find it in other pieces. We are taking a Dirty 30 node, and the reason we are taking it is because it is 3 or more of our omniscience. Now, I have the point, so I put it in. If you can tell, 1817 versus 1889. 30 is way more than 30 when you have all of these attribute multipliers, such as the one here, 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 no, here, right here, so on and so forth. And I don't even have an anoint on my amulet yet, just because I just wanted to kind of test this out. So without further ado, let's just go straight into a t16 map. Sure, this is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna go into this one. So, what exactly does omniscience mean? How does it translate? So, any percent increase to any stat is instead a percent increase to your omniscience. Any flat, every 10 is 1 omniscience.
My mana is gone.
And every 10 omniscience is either 1 all res or 1 element of penetration. As such, you have to kind of find a way to get as much of that as possible. Ooh, that was close. Oh boy, we're lagging. Okay. So it seems like there's a lot going on my screen. Alright, there we go. Now we got the flow of it. Now, as you can see, we are literally just sitting here, like, melting things. I will say you don't have to go as high as omniscience as I have. I'm just doing this as a, to show you, you know, what you can do with all your pieces, at least the minimal amount of stuff. Now, you can do this with the Opus. I have tested it. And as you can see here, everything is dying in one shot. There's nothing living. I am not taking more than 1 shot to kill, even rares. Oh, wait, I lied. There's a rare right there. Oh, never mind, he died. And the reason is I have over 200 LE pen. Now, from my understanding, LE pen falls off the more you get, so obviously you probably don't want this much, but just because I have this much doesn't mean you have to. Just to kind of give you a little heads up on there. I actually don't think I have to. I think I have like 180. And you only need about 150, I think, to make it feel insane. Okay, let's see. Alright. So this is the 6 links damage. Obviously I'm using a little bit of weakened gems, well, all the weakened gems, so, you know, just so you can kind of see the level of budget invested. Oop, well, we died. Well, as you see there, we do have a little bit of issue with attack speed. I am not using a fast bow. I'm just kind of still playtesting this, and obviously we're using a bunch of jink instead of crafted up stuff. So hopefully by the time you pick this up, you have the budget or something like that for better gear. But at this point, I'm just testing. And so for our next test, we are actually going to go and take, let's say, one of these off. We're going to reduce our damage by 39% more, and obviously, the increase right there. And we're going to drop in our next map, just so you guys can see it. Now, I know I didn't complete the boss in there, but I mean, I'm in standard, I don't really care. I'm just here to show you a little bit about testing. Now, I won't deal with the single target right now, just because, like, I don't, like I said, this is kind of showcasing how good this is in a map-to-map standpoint. You can kind of decide for yourself where you want to take it and push the bossing damage thusly. I can easily push the bossing damage with actual gear, such as, maybe crafted
the
gloves
emptiness shattered
with a bunch
like
of
I
stats.
speak.
Shut up. Stop talking. And as you can see, without LE damage with attacks awaken, which is 40% less damage basically, I am literally able to 2-tap rares and 1-tap magic monsters and white monsters, and on a t16 map. And this gear is not expensive in the slightest. The Arborix is probably going to be your most expensive thing. Maybe the Brass Stone getting it 6 link might be a problem, but everything else is pretty cheap. Now, you don't have to use the Brass Stone. I will make this disclaimer. You can actually use something along the lines of Belly the Beast, which would increase your life an insane amount. If you don't mind taking a little bit longer to kill your boss, you can have 1 6 link and use a Calm's Heart, which will give you a pretty decent, hefty amount of armor on top of giving you a very hefty amount of armor. And I'm trying to think. Hold on, let me select these real quick. These are duty. What about you? No, sure. Okay. Calm's Heart gives you like 500 life as well. So if that's what you decide to do, is go for a Calm's Heart, then by all means have fun with it. For me, I don't really care all that much. So I'm just going for more max res, excuse me. And as such, that's the route that I chose to, take. Let's see, drops additional Scarab, cool, why not? Now, as you can see, I don't have my dash or second wind on. They're actually in this other pair of boots. So let's go ahead and just throw these on so I can kind of dash around. Now, I will say that, a downside about having Arborix is you have 0 evasion, which is pretty bad, honestly. Like, you really don't want to do that if you can help it. Alright, cool. Now, excuse me. Now, if you can't tell, I was able to do that on this gear. This is a tier 16 map on a 5 link for my clear. Now, there's not a lot of builds that can do that, but I kind of want to take it a step further just to kind of show you, how OP this really is. So what we're going to do is, instead of 1 link, we're going to take out our added cold and our LE damage with attacks and only have the less multipliers on, with inspiration for the reduced cost, just because, and just to kind of show you what I mean by how broken this is. Now, I don't want to run a map with mods for this test, just because, I don't have These are unidentified corrupted, I believe, and I don't have my LA damage with attacks to stop reflect, so I'm just going to run it this way. I could run one with mods, it's not any different. I mean, more life isn't going to do that much different. Certain mobs might have more life, so on and so forth, but it's not going to make a difference. Now, as far as in League, this actually should be very, very good for the new mechanic, because reducing the rares by a lot of res is just going to be insane for you. Basically, again, we're running this on a 4-link. So, as you can see, we're not really having an issue killing things. But, hold on, I just kind of wanted to show you something else. If I drop Inspiration, and then run around, this
My
is on
mana
a
is
3-link.
gone.
So, as you can see, the damage is there. You don't need to force damage with this build. The fact that I'm running Chain and GMP in my clear and still one-shotting packs is pretty insane. So, it's definitely something that I'd recommend trying and picking up. It is very fun and very easy to acquire all of these pieces. I do recommend doing this before things go insane on pricing, because this is definitely not a balanced thing and will most likely be looked at by a lot of, like, you know, in-game players. So I will gladly say that if you guys enjoy this, please let me know how it was and give me a shout out, letting in the comments saying like, hey, I love the build, so on and so forth, because I would love to hear your comments and hear about it. Now, this is not, I guess this is my original variation of this build, but it's not, oops, sorry, I looked down for a second. It's not an original build necessarily. So what I would recommend is that if you don't like bow builds, there are variants that you can do, obviously, with melee and melee-esque spells. So just be a little careful on how you do that. But yeah, without further ado, this has been Chaos-Reighn, and as always, take it easy, everybody.